Would you run for me? Would you die for me? Would you ride for me? Yeah. Would you die for me? Yeah. Would you ride for me? Lay down your life for me. That ain't a prophecy. This is prophecy. I'm fulfilling it like a bottle. See. Would you ride for me? Would you die for me? Or would you lie on me? Would you cry on me? Would you lean together, slip and slide on me? Would you provide for me? Lay down your life for me. Gotta give back, that was on me too. I had nobody help me through. Nobody paid the bills, they didn't help too. I was left by myself, I was tricked too. No structure in my life, we gon' both relate. I had nobody tell me nothing, till I came in the truth, now it's something. But your brothers never gotta ask something. Would you ride for me? Would you die for me? Would you ride for me? Would you die for me? With a real friend, lay his life for me. That don't mean nothing if you ain't got no charity. Would you die for me? Yeah. Would you die for me? Yeah. Would you provide for me? Yeah. Lay down your life for me. Would you die for me? Yeah. Would you die for me? Would you ride for me? Lay down your life for me. Got back, sitting on the highway. I'm in route and I'm about to do it Yahweh. I don't act like I'm always in a proud way. Yeah, we prepping like we get ready for Friday. Next Friday, I'm still going in like a curfew. I know you get mad, take it personal. Don't be sick, but I fly, call that bird flu. You don't talk nobody, would you ride for me? Would you die for me? Would you ride for me? Would you die for me? Would you ride for me? Yeah. Would you ride for me? Yeah. Would you die for me? Yeah. Lay down your life for me.
Tell me that you gon' ride for me. Would you ride just for love? I ain't used to keep no commandments. Now I'm fighting off the lust. I know my brother got me, always there when it's tough. Most High gon' hold me down. I ain't even gon' same thing he did last time, but I was trying to do me. I was trying to live a fast life. He was trying to change me. Had me spiritually in a chokehold. Had to crawl on my knees. I was turned up. I'm in go mode, trying to fight off that sin. Israel rising like an escalator, still adding more like a calculator. Opened my eyes, I was fascinated. Gave me the truth, I was educated. Most High said we a holy nation. Zephaniah 2, that's cooperation. And have a pot to piss in, but if we stick together, we can rock this nation. Start to build some spaces, you know, places. Start formulating ideas, dead. Straight out the tribe of Judah. You already know. Speaking on the name, man, them boys better show respect. Lying on some things, you would think them boys in politics. Jesus was a black man, but how come they ain't showing that? Left the church and told my pastor, nah, dog, I ain't going back. I can't play no games, man, I got too much to lose. I can't play the middleman, you know I had to choose. We are not the same, man, our doctrines ain't congruent. From a nigga to a god, boy, the Bible got influence. My God'll give it to me, I just know I gotta ask for it. Destruction coming soon, but I know that I can't fast forward. Chariots been flying through the heavens like an asteroid. I got you on my tab for what you speaking in them tabloids. I've been moving spiritually, but they don't take it seriously. I tried to give them warning, I don't think the people hearing me. I gained a lot of enemies, I lost some ones that's dear to me. I'm not your common Christian, boy, this ain't what it appear to be. Speaking on the name, man, them boys better show respect. Lying on some things, you would think them boys in politics. Jesus was a black man, but how come they ain't showing that? Left the church and told my pastor, nah, dog, I ain't going back. Hey, trap money made the hood.
Shalom, Israel. Rise and face Jerusalem. Men of Israel, blow trumpets. Trumpets down.
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is in your kingdom, the power and the glory forever. In your heavenly name we pray, in the Son of Jesus Christ we pray. Amen.
Amen. All praises to the Most High. All right. Shalom, Israel. Most High in Christ bless. I am Officer Kalaya, and this is Mid-Morning Medicine.
We in this building.
So, yes, we are in the building. So, first of all, I want to say shout out to the leadership. Shout out to Bishop Yawasab for that great class on this past Sabbath. Shout out to all those men that came before us that showed us that we're Israelites and what we need to do to receive salvation. Without them, there would be no us, and we would be lost. We would still be those lost sheep out in the world doing all type of and all manner of evil. We might still be up in Pam's church. Okay? Pagan atheist ministers. Pam. Okay? Y'all know I love acronyms. Matter of fact, we got an acronym today for the class, all right? So today's class is called the M.O.M. The M.O.M. Now, this is not, look, women got scared already. Don't log off. It's not, this ain't gonna be no class about bashing women, okay? Because as Israel, we all have responsibility in this truth. The class is called the M.O.M. M.O.M. It's an acronym. It stands for the making of monsters. So, as you know, our communities are decimated. But understand that there's an enemy that has done this. There's an enemy that has taken the fathers out the homes. There is an enemy that has taught our sisters feminism. There's an enemy that has put drugs in the community, guns in the community, has established a school to prison pipeline. Okay, and today we're going to talk about it. All right, so today's class is called the M.O.M., the making of monsters. So how this class came about is I saw a video on YouTube. It just popped up in my feed. You know how it happens, right? It popped up in my feed, and it was a video about 3 young men, 17, 16, and 12 years old, that end up committing some very heinous murders. And today the class is based around that video. So y'all know I don't use a lot of videos, but today we're going to use a video, and we're going to go all through this video. We're going to break it down. We're going to show what happened, and we're going to show how these things could be avoided, and what we got to do to correct. Like I said, we got an enemy. The enemy has already, his plan is fully instituted. So now that we in this situation, now we're in the situation of having these single parent households, usually run by the mom, right? We're going to show what we have to do to correct the situation and to get back on track. All right. So with that being said, where would I like to start? Okay, let's get a couple scriptures. Let's get Exodus 20 and 13. Let's start there. Let's go to the law, okay? About what we should be teaching our children and how our children should be raised. Read.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 13. Thou shalt not kill.
So the first thing we have to teach our children is our children not supposed to be no little killers is running around here. But that's all we know. That's also going into hatred, right? But when we grow up in these homes without fathers, right, there is a lot of hatred, self-hatred. And so, because we don't know who we are, we don't have any discipline, we learn to hate ourselves, and we dealing with single parent households, we dealing with mothers who don't know how to raise boys, right? Myself, and to give y'all a little background, I'm a product, listen, I'm a street kid. I came up in the streets of Chicago and Baltimore, all right? And I was an outdoor kid. From a very young age, I was a roamer, meaning that you ever ride through the hood and you see them little kids outside and you like, where the hell they parents at? I'm talking about 6, 7 years old. They just outside 9 o'clock at night running. That was me. That was me. I was that kid. And guess what? When you grow up like that, it's very, very easy to end up in any type of situation. You never know what's coming from one day to the next, right? You gravitate to those who gravitate to you. Okay, so mama is either usually trying to live her life or she's at work. I had a mother that worked 12 hours a day, so I was free. You know what I'm saying? Listen, she worked 12 hours a day. She came home, she crashed. So either she was at work or she was asleep. So I had a whole lot of time to do whatever I wanted to do. And I did a lot. Way too much. Okay, let's give me Romans 13. Give me Romans 13. Let's read that. Like I said, I just want to establish a couple things of, what we should be doing, because as Israel, we supposed to follow not only God's laws, we supposed to teach our kids, honor thy father and thy mother, which is the keeping of the commandments, right? But also we got to follow the laws of the land. Read that.
Romans chapter 13, verse 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers.
In this land, the higher powers would be the police. It would be the government. It would be those people who are in control of this society. Read.
For there is no power but of God.
Because God is in control of those powers, right? Go ahead.
The powers that be are ordained of God.
Read.
Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of God. And they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation.
Man, keep reading.
For rulers are not a terror to good works.
It says the rulers are not a terror to good works. When you out here doing good things, when you out here acting like you got some sense, most of the time, you really don't have nothing to worry about. Now, we know that's not 100% true, all the time. You take into account like Tamir Rice. He wasn't doing nothing wrong. He was a kid outside playing with a toy gun, and he was murdered. So we know these things do happen. You don't necessarily have to do anything, but we're saying in general, the majority of the time, if you know how to act, you can avoid a lot of things going wrong. Read.
For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power?
Right.
Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same.
Right.
For he is the minister of God to thee for good.
He is what?
The minister of God to thee for good.
It says he's the minister of God to thee for good. Read.
But if thou do that which is evil.
But if you do that which is evil, if you out here acting a fool, go ahead.
Be afraid.
Be afraid. Why?
For he beareth not the sword in vain.
Esau put you to death. He don't bear the sword in vain. That man's a killer. Okay, so all praises. These little boys didn't get put to death, but they lost their lives. Okay, they did lose their lives. Okay, they when you see this thing, they ain't a lot of two. I say this, two of them ain't never coming home. Okay, go ahead.
For he is the minister of God to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid. For he beareth not the sword in vain. For he is the minister of God, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil.
Finish it out, verse 5.
Wherefore ye must needs be subject, not only for wrath, but also for conscience sake.
Right, so we shouldn't just be trying to do right for the simple fact that we think we might get put to death, but honestly, for conscience sake toward God, right? We want to have a good conscience toward God, so we want to keep his commandments for that alone, right? Forget about the white man. We know about that. Look, we doing this for the Lord. We doing this so we can have a good conscience toward God. Give me 1 Peter 2. We're going to read 13 and 14. And then we're going to go ahead and jump into the video after that, all right? Because if I just, trust me, it's so much. I didn't even really know exactly how I wanted to approach this because it's so much and it's so heavy, like that this class could be a 5-hour class. I'm telling you, like to go through like the Willie Lynch and to really understand how these monsters are made. We could go all into the music. We could go into the social media. We could go into so many factors that contribute to how this happens, right? But today, like I said, we're going to touch on what could have been done and the part that the moms really play in this. Read what you got.
The book of 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 13. Submit yourselves to every ordinance of man for the Lord's sake.
Right. So I just want to establish in the beginning, look, we supposed to keep the laws of the land, right? As well as God's laws. If you're keeping God's laws, you automatically keeping the laws of the land, though, right? Go ahead.
Whether it be to the king as supreme, or unto governors, as unto them that are sent by him for the punishment of evildoers, and for the praise of them that do well.
Right. So with that being said, we got to keep the laws of the land. We got to honor our mother and our father and our mother. Okay. Let's get into the video. Started right from the beginning. We're going to go to 1 minute and 14 seconds. So just off the top, I want to establish too, these perpetrators, the ones who committed these crimes, are children. They 17, 16, and 12 years old, right? why the kids got names like Reaper? The one kid's name is, his name is Rob, they call him Reaper. Reaper Stavo, who is also called X-Man, okay, and 3-5, okay? And then you got 3 victims whose names is Layla, Michael, and Camille. Now, why would Layla, Michael, and Camille be hanging out with Reaper, Stavo, and X-Man and 3-5? Do you see how that don't really go together? Right? So kids, if you go by Michael, you shouldn't be hanging out with Killer. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that don't go together. That's a telltale sign that ain't who you want to hang out with. All right, play the video.
Be honest, baby. It's okay.
Because you're gonna feel so much better. You're gonna feel so much better.
When they pull this GPS, will it show that you were at home in your bed, or will it show that you were somewhere else? That's the question that was asked. You don't know?
This is something that's serious. People will kill our family. What am I supposed to do?
Robert, you don't understand that you're just as guilty if you know who did it and you're not saying nothing. That's guilty by association.
I don't know.
Snitching on everybody. If I was going to get charged, why did you make me say?
I said I don't know.
I feel
When the bodies of 3 teenagers were discovered over a period of several days in the same neighborhood in Marion County, Florida, the police didn't know what to think. This would set the tone for the rest of the case, as the emerging suspects all seemed intent on blaming each other. The identity of the alleged perpetrator, along with the motive for the heartless murders, turned out to be more alarming than anyone wanted to believe. The police first looked...
All right. So there you go. That's the basis of the case, right? So the first thing that you will notice in the video, right, is you see 3 young men who are all very emotional, but you also see what? Mothers in there that are what? Very emotional. So these young men are learning the characteristics of the mothers. And now, jump up to 5 minutes and 2 seconds, all right? So we just going to establish some things in this video. We're going to jump through there. We're going to hit some points, and then we're going to get into the scriptures, right? 5 minutes and 2 seconds, and we're going to play the 6 minutes and 30 seconds. Yep, let's go.
Identified the girl as 16-year-old Layla Silvernail. Her grandparents,
so that's the first victim, 16-year-old Layla Silvernail.
Detectives first made contact with her grandfather, Kenneth.
Layla was found, she was apparently with a gunshot wound, and she was taken to the hospital. So that's part of the reason why we came here, was to let you know about her status, but we also wanted to know any information that you had about who she was with yesterday, who she hanged out with.
What's she in the hospital for?
She had a gunshot wound.
Huh?
She was shot.
You're kidding.
No, that's what I told you when
This is what I've been trying to tell her. You're hanging around with a crew.
Kenneth hurried to the back of the house to get his
hanging
wife,
out with
Lisa.
niggas. That's what he said.
Layla's grandmother only seemed to become more distressed when the detectives tried to ask her questions.
Lisa, come here. Lisa, have a seat right here.
Is my granddaughter okay? Will she be okay?
She's going to be in the hospital. I don't know anything. That's why I said I'll talk to you.
I'm the victim advocate, okay? I'm here for you. Have a seat for us. We need some information so we can find out.
That's
who
painful
did
right
this,
there.
okay?
Finding out your grandchild been
I
killed.
will go and I will shoot their asses.
Oh yeah, she dead.
Listen.
Where was she shot at? Does anybody know anything?
She was shot in the head.
She was shot in the head. Grandma freak out.
That's all we have right
You're
now.
not. Can you imagine just learning that your child or your grandchild just got shot in the head? You already thinking, okay, she dead, like she gone, right? Your child, your baby, been 16 years old, been shot in the head, and wait till you find out what it was over. Jump the. Matter of fact, continue playing. We're gonna go to 708. So that's the first victim, is 16-year-old girl named Layla. All right. And now you got to understand, this is actually a kind of different because these victims are Edomites. Usually, of course, it's black on black, right? 90% of the time it's black on black. But this case just stood out so much because y'all gonna see, it was crazy. Go ahead. Continue. Yeah, grandma freaking out.
The situation was actually more horrifying than Lisa knew.
They saying
Early
it was
on
actually
March
worse than what
31st,
she thought.
the
What
morning after the
they told
shooting,
her at that point.
The police stumbled upon the last thing they were expecting. Just blocks away from the crime scene where Layla was found, police discovered a second victim. Also suffering from a gunshot wound. There was little doubt that the two cases were connected, which made the search for the shooter all the more urgent. Back with Layla's grandparents, the detectives desperately tried.
708? That's 708 right there? Okay. So now you got a second victim they found, right? They found a second victim by the side of the road. Okay, there's a second victim. Now, we want to establish the third victim. So go ahead and play the 857. Like I said, we're going to touch in the video, then we're going to get into the scriptures. I just want to lay the foundation of what's going on. So we got the first victim, 16 years old. We got the second victim was 16 years old. Well, we didn't even say who it was, but it's going to turn out to be a 16-year-old also. Go ahead and play the 857.
To find out who might have been with Layla that night.
Right, so they want to find out who they was hanging with.
Wonder if more of her friends were hurt or in danger too.
Lisa, look at me. Who was she with yesterday?
She came here with, and I'm gonna tell you everything, because I don't like the people she hangs around with anyway.
Okay, that's what we need.
Lisa said Layla was almost always with her boyfriend, 17-year-old Michael Hodo. She also directed the police to Layla's best friend.
That's who they just found by the side of the road, a 17-year-old. Also shot.
Another name came up too, and it was one police were already familiar with.
And then that runaway girl, Camille.
Okay.
She was with her too yesterday.
Camille Quarles, 16, had been reported as a runaway by her aunt and legal guardian several weeks prior.
Now this is the third person, another 16-year-old.
With Layla at her grandparents' house, but no one had successfully brought her home yet. When police made contact with Camille's aunt, Amy, she was not shy about expressing her frustration with the investigation.
I did call it in this morning to ask somebody to go through there, and nobody has called me back. I've called 5 or 6 times a day since she's been gone.
Even worse, Amy's son was hearing all kinds of gossip about the case at school. People were saying Camille had also been shot. The names of the victims and the location of the crime was seemingly common knowledge. Disturbingly, police had not yet confirmed if Camille was involved. Also, they'd not yet released the names of the victims or the location, which meant whoever was spreading this information had to be involved.
Stop, right there. So, not only have they committed these murders, but they at school talking about the murders. They bragging about it. Did you realize what he just said? He said they ain't even released no names of the victims yet, but already it's common knowledge who the victims are and where they got killed, which means the people that was involved is out openly talking about it. Don't that kind of remind you of these little YNs putting all of this information in their rap songs? Ain't that what they do? So they committing murders and they bragging about it. That's the same thing they doing with the rap. That's how half of these rappers is getting indicted now, is that they killing people and doing all type of crime and they putting it in their rap songs. So they not rappers, but they doing the same thing, right? All right, from there, jump to 1010. Short clip, 1010 to 1025. Let's see what they doing, what all of these kids are doing together. 1010 to 1025. Go ahead and play it.
And so, I don't know if it's abandoned. Do you know what a trap house is?
Yeah.
Okay, so apparently, this kid Rob, I don't know him personally, but they do.
Okay.
They're friends or whatever, and we went over there and we chilled over there.
Significant.
So they chilling in the trap house. She said, do you know what a trap house is? They at the trap. Now, if anybody don't know what a trap house is a place where people hang out and sell drugs and do all kind of stuff. Okay. It's funny that it's called a trap house, but people don't realize they're in a trap. Yeah. So they all hanging out. These kids, Michael, Camille, and Layla are hanging out with Reaper, 3-5, and X-Man at the trap house, right? So if you got kids and your kids is hanging out at the trap house, and hanging out with people with these, listen, know who your kids are hanging out with. It's your responsibility as a parent to know everybody that is in your child's life. If you don't, you are doing your child a disservice, and they will end up hanging out at the trap house. Yes, your kid too, okay? Because most people think not my kid. They thinking their kids are special, right? No, your kid gonna be enticed. Sin is what to say. The way of the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked will seduce him. So if you hanging out with wicked kids, I don't know no kid at 8 years old that say I'm gonna be hanging out in the trap house smoking weed and smoking vaping and smoking. No, that's not what's on kids' minds. But guess what? Gradually, little by little, they're seduced by the world. Right? And they end up and they find themselves in these situations that they never thought that they would be in. Okay? And we ain't even gonna get into the other factors. Okay, like the what's that what's his name? Kawanza Kunjufu, the plot to destroy black boys and all that. Listen, there's so much going on, man, that if you are not, you got to be hyper aware of your kids and where they are and what they are into. Me personally, I don't think no child should have a cell phone, but that's just me. Okay? I just don't think it's a good idea. It's just too much. It's too much that they got access to when they got that supercomputer in their hand. All right? Too much. All right? We grew up without no cell phones, and our parents was able to, well, anyway, because, yeah, my parents didn't have a keep tabs on me. Keep tabs on your kids. Jump to, matter of fact, play on. All right. So now it's getting ready to go to, the investigation.
But the only
or
sign
the interrogation.
Of her vehicle, a white Chevy Cruze, was a tire track left at the crime scene. The police hoped that finding the vehicle would offer some insight into what happened the night Layla was shot.
Do you know his last name or anything else about Rob?
No, I don't really know if Rob is like his real name or not, because I know some people know him as Reaper, Rob.
Reaper. They called his kid, they called his 17-year-old kid Reaper.
Besides the three of you and Rob?
Well, there was this kid 3-5, but I don't know his real name.
What's 3-5 look like?
I don't know. He's 12. He's a little kid.
12-year-old?
12-year-old.
Detectives knew they needed to track down Rob and 3-5. They started with Rob, who they believed to be 17-year-old Robert Robinson, who was already incarcerated.
Now,
at a
he
juvenile
already
detention
locked up
facility for a different offense.
For some other crimes he committed.
When detectives asked him about 3-5, he directed them to a boy named Christopher Atkins.
Wait, I thought he wasn't supposed to be
Shockingly,
snitching.
Gabby was right.
He wasn't supposed to be snitching, right?
12 years old. Since Chris
No,
and
the
Rob were
17-year-old
both
told where to
minors,
find the
their mothers
12-year-old.
were asked to join them at the police station before any conversations took place. Chris's mother, Ashley, was the first to arrive.
Pause. We gonna keep playing. Now, the first thing, come on now. I hate to say it, and this is not bashing women, but if your mama show up to the police station in a bonnet and hoochie shorts, just understand that you going to jail. Okay? Why? Because I can guarantee you that you are in the school to prison pipeline. Okay? Like, his mama looked like he going to jail. When I seen his mama, I was like, yeah, he did it. And and I know we ain't supposed to prejudge, but the scripture do say a man may be known by his look. So when I seen her, it's gonna already give you an idea of the product that she's raising. Mama showed up with a bonnet, and come on now. And the crazy part is the shorts got the American flag on them. That's the crazy part. But go ahead, play on. Play on.
My son. If he being questioned, why the fuck I'm not in there?
Watch the behavior.
Which second's the room? Where's my son?
He's in the other room right here.
You talking to him?
Not yet, no. They're all getting their stuff together.
It seems she wasn't convinced they weren't already questioning him, because Ashley did her best to hear what was going on in the other room.
Look at this foolishness. She's standing there trying to listen through
After
the wall.
Almost 2 hours of waiting, she was finally escorted to the next room to join Chris, who was visibly trembling.
Can I put you right? Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. Did you want another jacket?
He ain't have a
Sure,
chance.
You look like you're cold. Let me get you.
You say you have 4 siblings? Okay. You guys get along okay in the house?
The detective set
So
about
she got 5
gradually
kids.
breaking the ice
He
with
got 4
Chris,
siblings.
all the time appearing hyper-aware that he was only 12 years old. After taking all necessary precautions, like making both Chris and his mother aware of their rights, and establishing on record that Chris knew the difference between right and wrong, they finally got to the issue at hand.
So, Chris, what I'd like to start with talking to you about is...
Now watch this.
And like I said, I just want you to be honest with us. I'd like you to talk to me about last Thursday night.
First, we made something to eat. Then we watched TV. And I went to sleep for a little bit. And I heard something outside. I opened the door. There was nothing outside now. I think I went to sleep.
So I think what you just told me was what you probably had rehearsed in your mind several times to tell a police officer if you ever had to talk about that Thursday night. Because sitting here and talking to you,
Pause.
with your mom here crying,
Pause.
and knowing
You
that
went past. Pause. That's it. So he said what you just said is what I think you rehearsed in your mind if you had to ever talk to a police officer about this situation, right? So already the police know what? This little nigga lying. Okay? Watch this. Watch the tactics that they use. Give me History of Susanna 51, right? The police, listen, they know what to do and how to extract the truth out of these kids. Read that.
The book of History of Susanna, verse 51.
Pause. So, first of all, if y'all know the history of Susanna, she had two elders that lied on her, right? And they tried to have sex with her, lied on her, and now Daniel's going to interrogate them. So this is what Daniel did. Read.
Then said Daniel unto them, put these two aside, one far from another, and I will examine them.
So Daniel said, listen, separate them, and I'm going to examine them. And I'm going to ask them some hard, probing questions, and I'm going to get to the truth. What's the thing you notice? They got him in there by himself, right? Meaning he's not in there with the other perpetrators, okay? So they got him in one room. They got Rob in another room, right? So they separate him. That's the first thing they did. Now give me what do I want? Give me no. Give me the one false speeches. Sirach 36:19. Because the police officer said what? He said, listen, that don't even sound like the truth. That sounds like some stuff that you rehearsed already. So this is what's going on. Read that.
The book of Sirach, chapter 36, verse 19.
Uh-huh.
As the palate tastes diverse kinds of venison.
So as you can say you eat some chicken, you're like, okay, that's chicken. You eat some beef, you like, that's beef. Okay, you eat some turkey. You say, okay, that's turkey. You can discern what type of meat it is when you eat it, right? Read on.
So doth the heart of understanding false speeches.
So somebody that understands, this police officer understand his job. He understand that kids lie. So soon as he said that out of his mouth, he already knew he lying. Well, Bishop say it all the time, right? People lie. People's natural instinct when they get caught doing something is to lie. The first thing people do is lie. So he already knows he's lying. All right? Give me go jump to 1407. 1407. We're going to go real quick, 07 to 33. 1407 to 1433. So they got the first kid. They got this 12-year-old kid in there, and they're interrogating him now. Go ahead.
Bad for it.
Reaper down there has been super honest.
Now look at what they're doing.
He, took him a minute.
Reaper in there telling everything.
To get comfortable with me, and he's told me everything down to details that only he would know, and
that's involved.
That nobody else would know.
Some of the details.
Stop at 33. So now look at what they do. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, police lying. He said, "Look, Reaper done told me everything." So now what does that do? That puts the 12-year-old on guard to go, well, damn, he down there telling. But I'm gonna tell you what, this 12-year-old, he a cool customer. Okay, most 12-year-olds, listen, he was the calmest and most, listen, I'm gonna say this. All these kids lied until the very end, okay? But he didn't really, look at his face. He didn't really react to that. But the police is using a tactic where they separate each other and then they say, well, he telling. We know. Listen, if they already knew everything, they wouldn't even have to ask him no questions. They would tell him what they knew and then say, look, and you can admit to it or not. We charging you with it. You see what I'm saying? So the fact that they still sitting there asking them questions means they don't know everything. They're still probing, but this is a tactic that they use, right? Now, I'm not saying he shouldn't be forthright and not tell the truth. He already did it, right? But at the same time, you notice that ain't no lawyers in the room. The parent, why the mother ain't get them a lawyer? Right? She said, listen, at one point, man, she's going to help them she's going to help them interrogate her own child. Okay? Listen, this is products of Christianity. You can tell that these women reverence white men because they're actually going to help these white men convict their black children. Okay, now I'm not saying that these young men are not responsible for what they did, but we understand there's a system in place that puts them in these type of positions and they're being groomed for prison. You see what I'm saying? So they didn't even get proper, like there will be no fair trial. They going straight to jail. You know what I'm saying? So watch this. Go to, like, we gonna jump into the scriptures. Give me where we at? We at 14. So just continue. It's about to get crazy.
17-year-old Rob, also known by the concerning moniker Reaper, was also being questioned. Just like Chris, Rob and his mom Erica were both advised of their Miranda rights before the interrogation commenced.
I'm trying to bring the best way to say this to you guys. We're investigating several different incidents that occurred over the last couple of weeks. Okay. One being a theft of
thou shalt not steal.
Side by side. One being the theft of a burglary.
So they stealing, they robbing.
A robbery.
A robbery?
A murder.
Look at his eyes.
Okay.
A murder?
So, the first ones you named is believable. The last one you named is not. You don't have the
You hear that?
You know that for a fact.
Okay.
She know that for a fact.
On Thursday all day.
So, I mean, I was home all day. Like, I was home all Thursday.
Okay, who were you with? Did anybody come over?
Pause real
Did
quick.
We hang out with anybody?
Did y'all hear what the mother said? The mother said the first ones I can believe. So she already know that her son is a little derelict, all right? Okay, she already knows she's raising a little thug, a little criminal. But then she says, but the last one, but he ain't no killer, right? Oh, he's a killer. He is a killer. And that just tells you right there, she don't know her own child. You're going to see why. Play.
Did you go anywhere with anybody?
I ain't go no. Came over like
Look at his body language.
What did you guys do then?
We just chilling. Literally, like we just chilling.
Okay. Was anybody with?
We was just chilling.
At the time. How did he get to your house? Things like that.
Supposed to drove to my house. It was him, Landon,
right,
Layla, and it was another girl with him. I don't know her name.
Sosa was a nickname that Layla's boyfriend, 17-year-old Michael, used.
That's Sosa.
Michael's father had last seen him about 6:30 last night, around the same time Gabby said she parted ways with the group. Landon was another local boy who police determined didn't know anything that would aid the investigation.
Landon had good parents.
As for the unnamed girl, the police likely wondered if she could be the missing Camille and why she hadn't been seen or heard from since.
Did you go anywhere after 6:30, Rob?
Ooh, why do y'all keep asking that?
I just want to ask him.
Hey, swear I ain't go nowhere.
On our investigation, what do y'all think happened, bro? I'm telling you,
You understand?
in the house that night.
I was in the house.
I only seen Sosa one time that day.
Only one time. He got the hand movements. They like, Rob, we already know you was out the house, Rob. They got him on video already at a gas station.
7 o'clock
Right.
p.m.
Thanks to CCTV footage, police believed that Rob, along with others in the friend group, had been involved in the theft of a vehicle and an armed
So they
robbery
stealing
that
cars too.
night. As
And an
serious
armed
as
robbery.
these crimes were, they paled in comparison to what police believed happened later. Back in the room,
Got
with
him on
Chris,
camera.
his
He's
mother
swearing
tried
up
to
and down.
make
I
him
ain't had nothing to
understand
do
the
with
severity of the
it. Line,
situation.
just line. Pause. See, if he had, give me Leviticus 19 and 11. If he had just learned this one scripture and applied it, none of that would have took place. Read what you got.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 11. Ye shall not steal.
So look, they done stole a car. They stole so much. They stole a car. They had stole some guns. They robbing and stealing everything. You should not steal.
Neither deal falsely.
They've been dealing falsely ever since they stepped in the damn interrogation room. They've been lying. Go ahead. And they was dealing falsely with them teenagers that they was hanging out with. They thinking they just hanging out, thinking that they all friends, but the whole time they setting them up to murder them. Go ahead.
Neither lie one to another.
And that's what they doing. He lying. They lying to their mothers. They lying to the police. Hell, they lying to each other, right? But that little simple laws. The laws will save our kids' lives. That's why it's so important that they learn the laws. All right, let's go back to the video, and then we got a little bit more, and then we're gonna go through some scriptures. Go ahead.
That was the whole story. You know you left out of the house Thursday when I told you not to. And you finna speak. You gotta talk right now.
Stop at 1948.
Told us what the plan was that night. So we know what the original plan was. We're asking you now to be honest and to come forth and tell us what happened and why it happened.
He knocked on the window.
When you say he, I never want to guess. Who's he?
Reaper, a.k.a. Rob, took a lot of convincing before he opened up.
Rob, right
Now, wait a
now,
minute,
you're
stop.
protecting KTM.
Stop. Wait a minute. They say Rob took a lot of convincing before he opened up. I thought they already told the other little man that, the 12-year-old, Rob done told him everything already. See how they lying? See how they using them one against another? But without no lawyers. And like I said, I'm not saying they should be in there lying, but damn, at least get them some representation. They have no chance at all. This is the school to prison pipeline. Okay? They've been riding around listening to Murder on My Mind. Okay? They Monica, look what it says. You're protecting KTM. What is KTM? That's their gang name. It means cutthroat mentality. So your 12-year-old son is in a gang called Cutthroat Mentality, and you have absolutely no idea. You're going to see why then. Let's go to 2158. Yeah, continue to it. Just continue. Let it play. Just let it play. Yeah, just let it play. It's good.
You need to tell. If you ain't
Look at the mama. You need to tell.
Now the whole story. You know you left out of the house Thursday when I told you not to. And you finna speak. You gotta talk right now.
You better talk right now.
What the plan was that night. So we know what the original plan was. We're asking you now to be honest.
Don't let the police do their job.
To come forward
just
and tell us
convict yourself.
What happened.
The
and
mother
why
ends
it
up
happened.
really interrogating the son.
When you say he, I never want to guess. Who's he?
Reaper, a.k.a. Rob, took a lot of convincing before he opened up.
Rob, right now you're protecting KTM and your buddies. You need to think about protecting yourself.
The disturbing meaning behind KTM will be revealed in due time.
Cutthroat
For
mentality.
now, the fact that the police knew about the mysterious phrase was enough to get Rob talking.
He like, how you know about
albeit
that?
Reluctantly.
Was that house? When you were with who was with y'all?
It was me. 3-5.
He don't want to say the last dude name. They all scared of the last little dude. They really try hard to protect them for a long
Police
time.
knew
Then they
by
finally
now that
give
there
them
were
up.
more people at the house than just Chris, Rob, Michael, and Layla.
Did you go anywhere with them that night?
No, I ain't go nowhere with them. I just told you. I swear to God.
Still
At
lying.
the house.
Still lying. I ain't go nowhere with
I
him.
went back home. Actually, Mom, I didn't come in until
Now watch
late.
this.
I didn't come in until after 7 anyways.
You don't know what time you came home. Now
That didn't help.
That Mulaka at 7:10.
What I'm saying is you don't know what time you came home because you defy your curfew. So much. You don't know what time.
Listen how she talked to him.
It might have been 8 o'clock. It might have been 7:30. It might have, you know what I'm saying? So you don't know. What I'm saying is, if you know something that they're trying to get out of you, I don't give a who your friends are, who you trying to protect. I gotta get to work, and I'm sick of.
I gotta get to work.
Could you choose to have friends? You need to be honest.
Unfortunately for Rob, the police already knew that he was still holding back the dark details of what he got up to that night.
What about a cell phone? Do you own that phone?
Yeah, I own that phone. So
Okay.
do you all want permission to check the location?
Look at that.
Great. Yeah.
Stop. The mother says, I own that phone. Do you want permission to check the location? The mother is literally helping them to convict her son. The mother said, I don't have time for this. I got to go to work. This young man is literally about to receive life sentences for 3 murders. He ain't never coming home. And her only concern is, I got to get to work. I ain't got time for this. Do you want to check my cell phone so you can see what this little, you heard her call him nigga. She called him MF. She said, like, when you talk to your child, when you talk to your son like that, when you call your son nigga, the mother, listen, this young man will never respect women. Unless he come into the knowledge and repent at some point. How are you going to respect? Now, listen, this is how these young men are being destroyed. When you see women that talk to these young men any kind of way like that, they not going to respect women. These are the men that are going to dog women out. Okay, they're going to end up putting their hands on where he probably will put his hands on his mother if he could, if he thought he could get away with it. But, no, he ain't, you're right. He ain't going to be touching no women. Somebody might be touching him behind bars. But to sit there and to talk to your son like that in front of the police and then to help them turn around and convict your own son is crazy to me. Like I said, we're not advocating for little killers to go free. That's not what we're saying here. But just to see this and to see how they're moving is crazy. Like in the natural, it would be natural to actually try to protect your child. They're not trying to, you would notice they're not trying to protect them at all. They're literally helping the police to convict them. Play on.
No.
Oh, they can check my phone.
They're not looking in your phone for anything else.
Now he about to get emotional, just like the mother.
GPS will keep you at your house that night.
Look at his face. Look at his face.
Are you? So we gon' no.
I can just tell you, I really don't know nothing about no murder. That is the truth. I don't know nothing about no murder.
He holding on to that.
I was not there with no murder.
That's not what they asked, though. That's not what they asked. What they asked was, when they pull this GPS,
that you volunteered,
will it show that you were at home in your bed, or will it show that you were somewhere else? That's the question that was asked. You don't know?
I don't know what y'all want me to do. Like, I'm telling you stuff.
They want you to tell them mine, and I'm telling them the truth. And you're sitting there going with them. Why you believing them? They're not your son. Stop believing them. Oh, no, I was not there. Like,
now he's getting emotional just like the mother.
First and foremost, you sitting there just moving everything you're saying. First and foremost, you lie so much, I don't know what to believe would come
You lie so mother up much, nigga. Wow.
Let's get that.
There's another nigga.
Like, I was like, but what I'm saying is, you so quick to want to protect people, and let me finish.
Protecting.
You so quick to want to protect people, don't want to snitch, want to be cool this and cool that, and not be known as a is in the paperwork and all of this, that you're willing to sit here and go down for murder that I know you didn't do. I know for a fact that you didn't do it.
I know for a fact that you didn't do it. Mama don't know a damn thing.
I did not kill nobody. I did not kill nobody.
Did somebody you know do it?
Like, what the?
No, I don't know nothing about no murder.
Now watch this.
I don't know nothing about no murder.
I don't know nothing about no murder. I don't know nothing about no murder.
Because if you got something to tell these people, because they have a way to tell if you're lying.
The best way to tell if Rob was lying was Chris, who was still in the room next door. He was sharing a bit more than Rob, and some key differences in their statements stood out already.
What do you think he's going to tell us, Robert?
All right, we're going to continue to 2504, and then we're going to stop and get to these scriptures.
I promise you I didn't do anything.
Who did? I don't understand why you keep lying. And then you go back. It's going to be a snitch. And it doesn't matter. Kill me. It don't matter. That is a snitch and I would die. This is not no joke. You would die. Like, you would die for snitching out here. People die for that. Real talk. Mama, people get popped and killed for snitching.
We're talking about life sentences here.
Right.
Life sentences.
And this is like really just listen. Your actions and the people you choose to hang with and all of this
I didn't kill anybody.
is slowly killing me. I should just pause. Let me talk. I'm supposed to be at work right now.
That's all mama care about is work. I just took a promotion. What?
All the that you are doing or the people you hang with or just any of that. Like, I don't know if you know or not, but they threatening me with contempt of court because I don't come to none of your court.
I don't come to none of your court stuff.
I make sure you get there, but I cannot keep missing work. And you think
Work. No, the other one do.
me that you don't want to snitch because your life is they gonna kill you in house. You it wasn't me.
Stop right at 2504. Watch this.
Robert, you don't understand that you're just as guilty if you know who did it and you're not saying nothing. That's guilty by association. Like, what part of that is not clicking for you? If you know who killed these kids, then you need to tell him.
Some part of this tirade must have made an impression, because at long last,
Watch this.
Rob shared his version of events.
Times killed all three of them.
Bam!
Okay.
Bam! Stop.
Tell me about it.
Stop. All right, come back. Put the camera back on. So after his mother broke him down with this emotional tirade, he says what? Taj killed all three of them. Now, what y'all will notice, go ahead, put me back up full screen. We done with the video for a while. So what you will notice is, how many victims did they have at this point? No, they only got 2. Yeah, so they just found out about a third victim. The police didn't even know about the third victim. Okay, so now it's going to 3 of them. So let's get into some scriptures real quick. All right, so give me Deuteronomy 6. This is why the laws are so important. Let's blow through these scriptures real quick, and then we're just going to touch a couple more points on the video. Deuteronomy 6:1, jump down to 7.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Now these are the commandments, the statutes, and the judgments, which the Lord your God commanded to teach you, that ye might do them in the land, whether ye go to possess it.
So God gave us laws, statutes, and commandments to keep. Go ahead, verse 7.
Verse 7, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up.
So we supposed to be teaching our kids on a daily basis throughout the day. All the time we spending it with them, we supposed to be meditating and talking about the scriptures, okay? But instead, you have one mother that is too busy living her life, which y'all gonna see, and you got another mother that is too focused on her career, okay? She said, I don't have time for this. She said, I don't come to none of your stuff. I gotta be at work. I just took a promotion. Your child is about to go to prison for the rest of his life, and all you could think about is your job and the promotion you just took? Man, that show you right now, she don't give a damn about this young man. She pissed that she got to be there. She's pissed right now that she even got to be there with him, okay? And that's just, man, it's so messed up because, you know, you got these women that's thinking they can raise these men on their own, and they can't, and they're failing miserably, okay? Miserably. You have to get your son, and this is for you sisters that are single mothers. You in the position already now. You have to get your sons around godly men. You watching this broadcast right now, you need to get into a congregation. Okay, and I'm not talking about no Christian church. You need to get in an Israelite congregation, and you need to get your sons around godly men who will teach them how to keep the commandments, who will help them to get a actual career and become men. Otherwise, they could end up just like this. They could end up just like these young men right here. It's very, very easy. Give me Proverbs 20 and 11. Okay, because these young men now have a reputation. They now have criminal records. They will be criminals for the rest of their lives. And two of them probably ain't never going to see the light of day again. Read that.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 20, verse 11. Even a child is known by his doings, whether his work be pure and whether it be right.
Right. Even children have a reputation, and they're known by their doings. Did you realize when the police pulled up the one boy, they said, yeah, we already familiar with him. We already know this kid. The other one, they had to go get him out of jail just to interrogate him, which means what? He already been a criminal. And what are they doing? What are the 17-year-old and the 16-year-old doing? They're grooming the 12-year-old so he can be a criminal. Okay, when you if you played on in the video, what they did was after they murdered these three kids, they gave the guns to the 12-year-old and said, go hide these guns. If you let anybody find them or if they find out, we gonna kill you. Okay? So they're grooming the 12-year-old to be the next wave of little killers. You see what I'm saying? And that's how it go. That's how it go. That's how it go. If you don't know where your kids are, what your kids into, your kids could be out there doing this. All right, Proverbs 22 and 15.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 15. Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child.
Read it again.
Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child.
No, some children.
Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child.
Foolishness is bound in the heart of all children. Children are foolish. Read.
But the rod of correction.
But the rod of correction, beating his little tail, go ahead.
Shall drive it far from him.
It's going to drive it far from him. But the problem is that they get too big, they get too old, and now the mother can't control them. And now the mother becomes afraid of the child. These little YNs, they got guns. They ain't scared. They not really scared of these mothers. Okay, they just don't want to hear them yelling and screaming. If they'll commit a murder, do you think they really afraid of their mother? They're not afraid of her. They're trying to have some little semblance of respect, and they need a place to sleep and eat. Okay, but to actually they ain't scared of you. They're not afraid of you. At a certain age, my mama couldn't do nothing to me. Okay, I knew it, and she knew it. All right, and that's how I ended up in Baltimore. She like, yeah, you going to live. You running with them little the YNs in the street. That we wasn't called that back then, but that's what I was doing. And she said, yeah, you going to live in Baltimore with your older sister. That's how I ended up here, right? Because I was in Chicago, and I wasn't a bad kid, but guess what? You in Chicago, you going to be gang affiliated. So I was running around with the GDs. I was getting this stuff, and yeah, I was a bad kid. And so she sent me here, out of the frying pan into the fire. Baltimore being better than Chicago, you think? Nah, not at all. Okay, so like I said, if you a single mother, what you gonna do? You better get in the congregation. Let's get Proverbs 3 and 12. Proverbs 3 and 12. That's your only chance. And I'm not saying it's 100%. Okay, we got special cases. You know, you get people like Dr. Ben Carson, right? He was like, I was a product of a single parent home. But how many times that happened? How many times that happened? Okay, it's very slim. Very slim. Okay, so, you know, all these women think they can do it by themselves. But I'm going to tell you what. Statistics say otherwise. Okay, read that.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 12. For whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth.
Right. Whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth. Meaning correction is love. And these young men did not receive the love of correction. And this is how they ended up. The crazy part is, as much as they are the perpetrators of these crimes, they're also victims. That's the crazy part. And I know a lot of people be like, well, how you going to say they the victims? They're victims that have become perpetrators. You see what I'm saying? They were victims of not receiving correction, not receiving discipline, not getting what they needed. So now they have become these monsters. Damn. The mom, the making of monsters. This is how it happens. Matter of fact, give me the statistic real quick. Pull that up when you get it. Give me Proverbs 13:24. When you get to this after this scripture, let's put up the statistic. Proverbs 13:24.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 13, verse 24. He that spareth his rod hateth his son.
If you spare your rod, meaning you don't chastise your children, you don't spank them when they small, it says you hate your child. That's just the truth. All this time out and all these new ways look, it don't work. It don't ain't no young knucklehead boy trying to hear nothing about no time out. Okay? Man, come on, man. That ain't working. All right. And now we do have different kids with different mentalities, but for the most part, man, listen, the Bible say spank a child, bow his neck down when he young and beat him on his sides. I would say do that. All right. Get the statistic. Put that statistic up. Y'all got it? Read this when they go up. Read that.
While a definitive percentage of black men in prison specifically from fatherless homes isn't consistently reported, research indicates a strong correlation between father absence and incarceration rates for black men. Studies suggest that a significant portion of incarcerated black men grew up in fatherless households.
So it says a significant portion of incarcerated black men grew up in fatherless households. Read.
With some estimates ranging from 60% to 80%.
So they're estimating that 60 to 80% of the black men that are in prison came from homes without fathers. Read.
This is further compounded by the fact that black children are disproportionately represented in single-parent households, particularly those headed by mothers.
Particularly what?
Those headed by mothers.
There it is. Listen, Google said it. It got to be true. All right? It got to be true. It got to be true. All right? Do we think that? Do we not believe that? Do we not see that? We see it. It's real. This is what's happening right here. Right? Read that. Father absence and incarceration.
Father absence and incarceration. Studies show a link between fatherlessness and increased risk of incarceration.
So this is before they go to jail. It's an increased risk if they don't have a father in the home. They're more likely to go to jail. Go ahead.
For example, one study found that 70% of juveniles in state-operated institutions come from single-parent homes.
Now that they are keeping records on. They know these young men, the juvenile record, 70% of juveniles in state-operated institutions come from single-parent homes. Come on, man. Read the last part.
Disparities in single-parent households. Black children are significantly more likely to live in single-parent households than white children. This disparity contributes to the higher rates of incarceration among black men.
Hebrews 13:4. That's why it's so important for us to learn these laws, forget this feminism, and stop living the lives of, listen, we have turned into a community of whores, drug dealers, criminals, just complete, what is it? We've turned into that degenerate plant, right? We went from being a noble vine to a degenerate plant. How did it happen? We fell away from keeping our God's laws. So when you got these ministers that's telling you, we no longer under the law, we under grace, they hate you. They are in bed with the enemy. They have sold you out, and you falling for it, man. Stop falling for the okie doke, man. Stop going for the banana in the tailpipe. Remember that? Right? I ain't gonna fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Yeah, you falling for it. If you think Christianity is the way, you're falling for it. I was in and out of Christianity my whole life. And I was doing all type of evil. Why? Because in Christianity, you don't have to change. You under grace. All you got to do is go to church on Sunday and say, I'm sorry. Drop a little money in the plate, maybe drop a couple tears. You mean it in the moment, but guess what? The next week you go out and do the same thing. You don't change because you don't fear God. And you don't understand that you need to keep his laws to receive salvation. So you're just going to stay in that perpetual cycle of foolishness. Go ahead, read what you got.
Hebrews chapter 13, verse 4. Marriage is honorable in all.
That's what we about. We about building strong black marriages. When you build marriage, guess what? Now you got a mother and a father for that child, and that child can be raised up. And listen, when the father say something, it's all the way different than when the mother say something. You better believe that. Why? Because the father can enforce it. The father can back it up, right? When Pops pull that belt off, you know hey, you ain't even got it. Listen, look, pull it up, hit that little, Okay, man, listen, he kid straight up. Mama can say something 100 times. You like, yeah, well, yeah, okay, right. She ain't gonna do nothing. Right. Go ahead, read.
Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled.
Right.
But whoremongers and adulterers, God will judge.
Yep, and he's judging our community right now. That's why the HIV rate is so high. That's why the abortion rate is so high. That's why the teen pregnancy rate is so high. That's why all these other STDs is going crazy in our community, because our people don't believe in marriage. And even when they do get married, guess what? Married, what they doing? They going outside the marriage, committing all kind of adultery and fornication. Okay, why? They see the pastors doing it. Right. Come on, man. You got Jamal Bryant talking about he wish he could have a threesome with his wife. This a pastor. Come on, man. This dude and talking about growing the church need to be growing weed. Come on, man. Y'all can't.
This nigga serves Satan.
Facts. Come on, y'all can't listen. Open your eyes. Y'all can't see this. Like, man, I don't know what's up with this new generation. I'm telling you, like it's crazy, man. I sometimes I literally, like, you how they say Jesus marveled. I be marveling like, can't y'all see this is crazy? Can't y'all see? Like, okay, I've never once in my life been to a church, and I've been to a lot of churches, where you walk in and it's dark. It's dark. I thought we were the children of light. You walk in, it looked like a damn club. That man, what's his name? Philip Anthony Mitchell. The man is an actor. He up there literally on stage with spotlights on him in a dark theater, putting on a performance, and y'all buying it. Y'all buying this. Like, man, y'all out y'all mind. Y'all out y'all mind, for real. Give me Proverbs 19:18. Let's get back to the scriptures. Let's get through this real quick. Proverbs 19:18.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 19, verse 18. Chasten thy son while there is hope.
While there's what?
While there is hope.
Now, guess what? Once you go past a certain age, ain't no hope. It says, chasten thy son while there's hope, meaning when he's young. Go ahead.
And let not thy soul spare for his crying.
Right, he gonna cry. He gonna cry. Hopefully he sorrows to repentance. Go ahead.
A man of great wrath shall suffer punishment.
Jump to Proverbs 23. Read 13, 14.
Proverbs chapter 23, verse 13. Withhold not correction from the child.
Don't hold back that belt. Go ahead.
For if thou beatest him with the rod.
And I'm going to tell you something right now. Listen. You might not even have to whoop your child these days. Just take away the damn PlayStation. Take away the Xbox. Whatever they playing now. Take that away. That's probably worse. They might die, okay? Like, literally just ball up and just, okay? Take things away. Beat their ass. Take things away. Be a parent. Be a parent. Okay? When you have kids, guess what? Your playtime is over. Okay? You made that commitment. Once you got kids, it's time to be a parent. The next time you get is your golden years. Once your kids is grown and out the house, now it's your time again. But guess what? When them kids is in that house, your first responsibility is to be a parent. It's to be a spouse, it's to be a wife, and then to be a parent. That's your responsibility. You took it on, live with it, and do it. All right? Read.
For if thou beatest him with the rod, he shall not die.
He's not going to die. But guess what? If you don't, he might die. Okay? Jump to Proverbs 29:15. This literally applies directly to this what we watching right now.
Proverbs chapter 29, verse 15. The rod and reproof give wisdom.
The rod and reproof give wisdom. If you can beat you can beat wisdom into him, like, because you're teaching him what he can and what he cannot do. If you don't chasten your child, guess what? He gonna get chastened in the street. If he don't learn discipline at home, he gonna learn discipline in the street. If you don't put your hands on him, somebody gonna put their hands on him. Okay? So be wise, read.
But a child left to himself?
A child left to himself. These are children that have been left to themselves. The one mother with the bonnet on, she out doing her thing. Wait till you see the end. Wait till you see the end. That's all I got to say. And then the other mother, okay, the one with the nails that took a promotion at her job and ain't got time for this, she too busy working. So while one is out living their life and while the other one's at work, what is the kids doing? Read it again.
But a child left to himself?
The children is left to themselves. They raising themselves. Okay, a child left to himself
bringeth his mother to shame.
It's right there. Now the mother is looking in there looking crazy, like, I ain't raised you like this. Yeah, you didn't raise him at all. You didn't raise him at all. You was too busy doing your thing. You was too busy living your life. Give me Sirach 30. Let's just hit a couple of those. We're going to skip through. It's a whole chapter about raising kids, right? Read, start from verse 1.
Sirach chapter 30, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
He that loveth his son causeth him oft to feel the rod, that he may have joy of him in the end.
Right. So if you cause him to feel the rod when he's young, meaning you correct him and discipline him as a small child, guess what? As he grows up, he gonna grow up right. Then you can see him. Then you can see him go off to college. You can see him get married. You can see him have a family. You can have some grandkids. You can see him flourish in life. But the start of that is correcting him while he's young and giving him that discipline, which is love, that he needs. Okay. Verse 2.
He that chastiseth his son shall have joy in him, and shall rejoice of him among his acquaintance.
Man, you see my son, man, he just got his doctorate. Okay, man, he's a lawyer now. He's a doctor now. He's a dentist. He's an electrician. Okay, man, he's a master plumber. You know what I'm saying? He did something with his life. He's not locked up behind bars, okay, being sodomized by some other little YNs, okay, and some wannabe gangsters, and yeah, because that's what's going on. They in there being sodomized. They might be the sodomizer. They in there beating each other, stabbing each other. It's monsters in jail, okay, all created by your friendly neighborhood white man, the industrial prison complex. And while they in there doing all that to each other, guess what the white man's doing? Profiting. Guess what he got them doing? They got them working jobs. They making products for Walmart while they locked in prison. Okay, listen, they don't even want, listen, one of the classes I did a while back was showing how it's people literally get out prison in the morning, go to work at like Popeyes and McDonald's, and then come check back into prison at night. So they using prison labor for all these low-paying jobs. They making $2, $1.50 an hour, some as low as 50 cents an hour. It's crazy. They got them doing sharecropping down south. Slavery's still in effect, y'all. Slavery is still in effect. Go to, jump down to verse 9.
Verse 9.
No, 8.
Verse 8. And horse not broken becometh headstrong. And a child left to himself will be willful.
A child left to himself will be willful, meaning he gonna be hard-headed and stubborn. You can't do nothing with him. Okay, read.
Conquer thy child,
meaning pamper or coddle your child,
and he shall make thee afraid.
He gonna make you afraid. Like I said, when that young man, the one that is now, when he turn and go, look, B, you know what I mean, and he flare up at you, guess what? When he go from that high-pitched voice and emotional to going, I'm a man now, B, get out my face, what you gonna do then? What you gonna do then? He bigger than you. He's stronger than you. It ain't nothing you can do but get out his way because you didn't raise the monster. Go ahead.
Play with him, and he will bring thee to heaviness.
He gonna bring you to heaviness. These mothers is in heaviness now. Go ahead, verse 10.
Laugh not with him, lest thou have sorrow with him, and lest thou gnash thy teeth in the end.
Right. Jump down to verse 12.
Verse 12.
No, in fact, read 11. Read on through.
Give him no liberty in his youth.
Clearly, these children had a whole lot of liberty. I know, like, I had way too much liberty as a child. And I got into listen, I understand that the Lord literally spared my life. Like he had angels around me, protecting me the entire time because I was out doing all type of stupid. Okay. And it took me coming into the truth to realize, oh, this is what he was sparing you for. And he took you through all of those things and around all of them people. My best friend was from the Stateway Garden Projects in Chicago. I done been in the projects in New York, Chicago, LA, Baltimore, Lexington Terrace, Murphy Homes, Compton. Like, I have been the worst places in America for no good reason at all. And have always, listen, and it was only for one reason. You know why? And like I said, it took me coming in the truth to realize why. He said, because I'm going to send you back there and them going to be the people that you got to teach. That's the only, and I need you to not be afraid of them. I need you to understand their mentality. I understand that mentality. And so when I get around them people, they just people to me because I grew up around them. So I don't have no fear going to none of the worst places. I've been there already. But that might not be your child's life. Your child might end up in them situations and end up in prison for the rest of their life. They might end up dead. Okay, so this is the way out. This is the solution to not let these things happen. Read.
Give him no liberty in his youth.
Right.
And wink not at his follies.
Right. Don't play with him. Don't laugh when he do something stupid. Okay. You know how, listen, when I was a kid, I couldn't bring nothing home that if my mother didn't get it for me, which I didn't get a lot, but what I mean is I couldn't come home with a random bike. I couldn't come home with money and nobody say, where you get that from? You see what I'm saying? So like, how are these kids having all this stuff? Now at the end, they found the guns in the 12-year-old's house. Now the mother all shocked. Because while they was in there helping the police to interrogate their sons, they had got warrants and were raiding their houses. So you sitting there helping you, and they like, yeah, while you sitting here helping us convict your son to a life sentence, we're simultaneously raiding your houses. So that's what they was doing. They raided their houses, and they found the guns, and all. They got the murder weapons, everything. They done. Cooked. Read that last verse 12.
Verse 12. Bow down his neck while he is young.
Bow down, and it tells you how to chastise your children. It says bow down his neck.
And beat him on the sides while he is a child.
Don't slap him in the face. Don't punch him in the chest. It say bow down his neck and beat him on his sides. Go ahead.
Lest he wax stubborn and be disobedient unto thee. And so bring sorrow to thine heart.
Because now, guess what? As much as they don't care, they still going to have some type of sorrow because their children going to be locked up for the rest of their lives. And they got to sit up and think about all the stuff that might be happening to them while they're in prison. Right? Go ahead.
Chastise thy son and hold him to labor.
Right. Give him a job. Give him something to do that's productive. Go ahead.
Lest his lewd behavior be an offense unto thee.
All right. That's enough there. Let's go to matter of fact. Okay. We're going to skip a couple of these. Give me, let's go back to the video. Let's go back to the video because we're running out of time. Give me 26. Go to 26 minutes and let's skip that. Jump down to go to 26 and 35 and play right there. We might run over just a couple minutes. So 26 minutes, 35 seconds. We're gonna play the 27:34. You got it? Yep.
We're not gonna.
Of their companion.
We pick up Taj. As soon as Taj came out, that was the first thing he told me. Like, we not gonna. We knocking them off.
It took a little more persuading, but Rob eventually told the police that they could find Taj at his girlfriend's house.
Still snitching. Now everybody want to apply Leviticus 5:1 now.
They finished talking to Chris and Rob. But instead of clearing up the questions detectives had, Taj made everything more confusing. He said everything was Rob's idea.
So now they blaming each other. They went from not snitching to now everybody, he did it.
I look at him like, what you mean you finna rob nigga the neck? He's like, bro, so sad. Like, look, bro, they got a pound of weed. They got me some money, bro. And if they don't go for it, I'm gonna kill them. That's exactly how he said. At this point, I'm frantic. If I can't, like, if I tell Sosa, right, Rob's sitting right next to me, so therefore he's gonna shoot me. So I'm sitting here, I'm scared as hell. So I'm like, I ain't got no choice but to just sit here and just, it is what it is.
Rob told detectives that it was the other way around.
Of course.
So random. Like, he just said he wanted to knock him off. I'm not thinking he's serious, though. Like, at the time, when he first said it.
That's it right there? Jump to 28:07. So now you see what's going on. They are blaming. Now they went from not snitching to now everybody applying Leviticus 5:1, and they all blaming each other and telling the story to fit their narrative. You see what I'm saying? So they all still lying. At the end, we find out, because for sake of time, at the end we find out that all three was trigger men. All three of them pulled the trigger. Okay, yeah. All three of them shot somebody. Okay, and they all admitted it. Go ahead. Where we at? 2807. Play the 2850.
Michael's firearm. Over in Chris's interrogation room, his story aligned with Rob's.
Now watch the mom.
Now.
What triggered him to just start shooting? I'm trying to figure out.
She's doing the
There's
interrogating.
something in between that you're not saying.
Because I think the person that the white guy, I think they said he had a lot of money or something.
He had
So it
$15.
was set up as a robbery. Okay, now we getting somewhere. Okay. So
It's a robbery. Now we getting somewhere. The mother's interrogating the son.
He didn't even know. Like, all I heard was pow. Then I thought somebody was shooting at us, so I hopped out the car and ran.
I'm looking. Boom. Boom.
Once again,
That's how it happened. You see, they said
was a
boom,
little
boom.
different.
He shot. So pause. So one of them upped the gun from the back seat, he's saying, and shot both the people in the front in the back of the head. Now there's still one in the trunk. Yeah, the last girl in the trunk. Now they say she in the trunk because wasn't no room to ride in the car. But then they murder her in the trunk. They pop the trunk open and murder her in the trunk. The 12-year-old shot the girl in the trunk. Bro, listen. These kids, bro, listen. It's crazy. They serving Satan. Okay? So I'm a sum it up a little bit. So they tried. So now give me Jeremiah 4:22 real quick, because these kids is wise as hell to do evil. So from here, what they try to do is now they trying to get rid of the evidence. Okay, they try to push the car in the lake with the girl still in the trunk. The car gets stuck in the mud, so you got half the car in the lake and half the car out the lake. Okay, they try to burn their clothes to get any evidence, but they don't even really do a good job at that. They throw their cell phones, the victim's cell phones in the lake. But of course, you know, the white man dragged the lake. They found the cell phones. They found everything. Okay, so Rob's mother, meanwhile, leaves and goes to work and never comes back. She just left her son. She abandoned him, but she abandoned him a long time ago. Trust me. They find the guns at the 12-year-old's house. The guns were stolen. Okay. They find the last girl dead in the trunk. Okay. And, yeah, the 12-year-old killed the girl in the trunk. Go to 47. Go to 47:23 real quick. Yeah, Jeremiah. Give me Jeremiah. Jeremiah. Because this is what they're doing.
Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 22. For my people is foolish. They have not known me.
Right, our people are foolish. We don't know God, because you only know God if you keep the commandments. That's what, 1 John 2:3? Right, go ahead.
They are sottish children.
They're stupid children. Go ahead.
And they have none understanding.
And they don't have no understanding.
They are wise to do evil.
They are what?
Wise to do evil.
They are wise. Our people are wise to do evil. These kids, they weren't really that wise, but they put a whole plan together to try to do this evil. Okay, and they got caught. Now go to 47:23. And we just going to play from 47:23 to 47:46. So about 23 seconds. Play that real quick. 47:23. You're wrapping it up. Yep. If it's a couple seconds early, it's cool. Play it.
Tragically, the third victim was determined to be none other than Camille. Her body was discovered 2 days after Layla was found on April 1st. Like Chris said, she'd been shot twice. The location of her wounds indicated that her death had been no accident.
Yep.
It was highly unlikely that Camille had been shot once in the back and once in the head by chance.
Shot in the back and in the head. All of them had headshots. That's it. That's it right there. Okay. So real quick, go to give me Proverbs 1. Give me Proverbs 1. Go to read 1 through 4. Read 1 through 4. We got a few minutes. We got just a few minutes.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 1. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel, to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment and equity.
Right. Where does that come from? That comes from your father. Okay, but these are fatherless children. Go ahead.
To give subtlety to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion.
To the young man knowledge and discretion. These young men have no knowledge. That's why it says my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. These young men had no knowledge and they had no discretion. They weren't able to make wise and sound decisions because they weren't raised right. Go ahead.
A wise man will hear and will increase learning.
I want verse 10. Jump down to verse 10.
Verse 10. My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not.
So 2 of these young men were enticed because somebody had to be the first one to have the idea, right? Somebody came to the other ones. Now, they all blamed each other, but somebody was like, hey, I know a way we can come up. The crazy part is at the end, they robbed them over 1 pound of weed, a gun, and $15. A Happy Meal, $15.
Stop it.
Goodness gracious.
Get some help.
Man, that's crazy. So watch this. Said, my son, if sinners entice. We know Exodus 23, and to get Exodus 23 and 2 real quick.
The book of Exodus, chapter 23, verse 2.
They should have learned this.
Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil.
Shouldn't do what?
Follow a multitude to do evil.
Nobody taught these kids that. So guess what? They followed a multitude to do evil. They got into a gang, to their little KTM gang, and they ended up in much evil. Go back to Proverbs 10.
Proverbs chapter 1, verse 10.
Uh-huh.
My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not.
Missed that.
If they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood.
Let us do what?
Lay wait for blood.
Man, I'm about to murder them. I'm about to kill them if they don't give me what I want. That's just what happened. Go ahead.
Let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause.
Right.
Let us swallow them up alive as the grave.
Because them kids didn't do nothing to them. They was innocent and without cause. They thought they was just hanging out having fun. They thought they was their friends. Right? So they murdered them innocently without a cause. Go ahead.
Let us swallow them up alive as the grave.
They did.
And whole as those that go down into the pit.
Uh-huh.
We shall find all precious substance.
A pound of weed.
We shall fill our houses with spoil.
$15.
Cast in thy lot among us, and let us all have one purse.
Man, we about to come up. They did come up with long prison sentences. Okay? That's what they came up with. Go ahead.
My son, walk not thou in the way with them.
Uh-huh.
Refrain thy foot from their path.
Yep.
For their feet run to evil.
Yep.
And make haste to shed blood.
That's exactly what they did. They shed a lot of innocent blood. Go ahead.
Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird.
Mm-hmm.
And they lie wait for their own blood.
Right. They thought they were setting them up, but truthfully, they were setting themselves up for life sentences. Go ahead.
They lurk privily for their own lives.
And they ended up taking their own lives. They killed them, but they killed themselves as well. You know what I'm saying? So you think you about to come up and you about to do this great caper, because if you look on TV, everything is what? America is all about robbing, stealing, sin. Every movie is about some great heist. We love heist movies, don't we? Come on, we love heist movies. We love the bank robbery movies. What do you think a kid is getting from that, though? A kid without a father. Man, real quick, give me timestamp, last timestamp. Give me 101:48. Let's close it out. 101:48. We're gonna play the 104:22. 101:48 to 104:22. This is we just gonna sum it up with this.
One of Michael's close friends eventually came forward, provided the police would keep his identity anonymous, and confirmed that KTM was indeed a gang. His description of their activities was chilling.
This what they into.
Their mentality is a mentality that they'll do anything to you and not give a fuck.
They'll do anything to you.
Yes.
Just to get the money.
Just to get what they want, basically.
With that, the detectives had all the information they needed to move forward with the case. It had taken 8 hours each to get the truth from Rob and Chris.
8 hours each of interrogation.
Out, leaving Ashley and Chris alone for a few moments.
Now watch this.
Listen. It's not over.
Yes, it is.
It's not over.
It's not over.
But look how calm he is, too.
I can hope that the gun that you shot her
It's
with
not over.
was a murder weapon.
Ashley also had some devastating news to deliver. That
Watch
was
this
sure to
news.
upset him further.
I'm gonna go to jail.
I'm going to go to jail when I leave here.
So
I got a warrant. The mother got a warrant.
grandma gonna be trying to figure out something. I'm gonna try to get out of this. When I
Watch what she got a warrant for.
I'm trying to get you home.
Ashley had a warrant out for her arrest, and in order to be with her son while he was interrogated, turned herself in to police. She was charged with possession of cocaine and methamphetamine.
Come on, man. These young men ain't have a chance.
Chris, Rob, and Taj were all taken to juvenile detention, and on May 15th, 2023, a grand jury.
And the other mother
indicted
never
all
came
three
back. She just
boys.
balled out, went to work.
Preparations began to take the case to trial, where they will be tried.
Watch,
as
they about to
adults.
tell they charge. They all being charged as adults,
Facing
even the
3 counts of
12-year-old.
murder in the first degree because
3 counts of murder.
Layla did not survive her injuries. She passed away just days after Camille's body was discovered. Taj also has been charged with robbery with a firearm, tampering with evidence, tampering with an electronic monitoring device, carjacking while armed, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and grand theft auto.
Damn.
Rob
As well
had a
as 3
similarly
murders.
long list of charges in addition to 3 counts of murder, including armed burglary, grand theft of a firearm, petty theft, robbery with a firearm, and tampering with evidence. Chris, meanwhile, was only charged with 1 count of murder for Camille, whom he admitted to shooting while she was in the trunk. The other charges against him were dropped, including grand theft of a firearm and burglary.
He might
However,
get
he's
out.
now
That's what I said.
facing
2
an
ain't never
additional
getting out.
charge of battery
He
after
might get
getting
out
into
when
a
he,
fight
right,
while
40 years
incarcerated.
old, right. Yep. So he's going to serve time in juvie, and then at 18, he's going to get switched over to a adult prison where he's going to serve his adult prison time. They charge all 3 of them as adults. Their lives are gone. Their lives are absolutely gone. Now, you know the last scripture I want. Give me 2 Esdras 5 and 8. So you seen the mother. The mother went to jail for cocaine and methamphetamines. So what was the example to her son? Like I said, she was living her life and the other mother was trying to pursue her career, and these kids were left to their own devices. And this is how monsters are made. Monsters are made when children are left to themselves and left to be raised by the streets. Okay, read that.
2 Esdras chapter 5, verse 8. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters.
And what?
And menstruous women shall bring forth monsters.
And these unclean women shall bring forth monsters. And this is what we just saw. The making of monsters. This is how monsters are made. Children are left to themselves. They're left to their own devices. They are left to figure it out by themselves. And the result of that can be tragic, as we just saw. That was a tragedy. So with that, that's the class. Don't forget to donate to the Booster Club. As always, it's an honor to be able to do these classes and to teach the nation. Listen, y'all, we gotta pray for our kids. We have to, you single sisters with these young men, get into a congregation. Get these, we have programs, we have the young prophets, we have mentoring programs. I saw a video the other day. One of the soldiers was taking the young men and he was teaching them, he's a mechanic, and he was teaching the young men all the different parts of the car. You know, this is the battery, this is the alternator, this is the starter, and he was just teaching. Listen, something as simple as that could change these young men's lives. It gives them a goal, an ambition in life other than being in the street. I could be a mechanic. I could be look at our own leadership and how many young men they've gotten into different careers, becoming electricians, you know what I mean? And different careers that they've gotten them into. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it tells us to be fathers to the fatherless. That's our job. Okay, so when we see these young men come into the congregation, guess what? Help these young men, okay? And you mothers, don't be prideful. Don't be prideful. You cannot do it on your own. But guess what? You got help. You got help. All praise to the Most High. You have help. Use the help that the Lord has given you. Get into a congregation. Stop sitting at home and not congregating, and get these young men around godly men that can help them become men. And that's it. That's all I got. All right, Israel. Shalom. Most High in Christ bless.
Teacher, a reader, a flyer, a mic and a speaker. I gotta beseech him. I cut him, then pass it to deacon. The captain gon' feed him, and bishop gon' lead him. He bleeding for